Howdy folks, Max Mogan in beautiful Jackson Hole, Wyoming, reporting for the Sheep Eater. It's Tuesday, January 21st, 2014, almost 6 p.m. Making a quick video about the drought in California and the mainstream media's response. I'm very media literate. I graduated with honors and distinction in communication and mainstream media. The first thing you learn as an honor student in media is that you can't trust the media, and the media is always spinning stories. As you can see here on the map, the drought in California is horrific. Awful, extreme drought across almost the entire state. Google News search, what you'd expect, all sorts of stories about the dangers of the fire. Interestingly, of course, they're looking for a link between the drought and climate change, okay? The establishment, the media, is still pushing this climate change agenda, blaming CO2 for our changing climate and overlooking the impact of things like geoengineering. Geoengineering is a proposed solution to climate change, but there's evidence of it taking place in the skies every day around the world. I made this meme because you read the media about geoengineering, and it's all about it's all about the future. It's proposed in the future to prevent climate change. These stories never look into the fact that it's already being used, and it can be used for lots of reasons. It causes drought, in fact. Even the mainstream, it's bursting out of the seams. Truth is bursting out of the seams, and there is a mainstream attempt right now to convince the public that geoengineering is actually saving us right now. And I really want to expose that. Now notice the Smithsonian, this is the U.S. government, this is the Smithsonian Institute. No one trusts geoengineering, but pretty soon it's not going to be a choice, okay? Biased much? Again, the classic narrative. They're saying Gore rejects it. They want Gore to be their straw man here. They want him to be the dissenting voice in a fake debate about geoengineering. Okay, geoengineering lacks popular support. One problem with geoengineering, once you start, you can't really stop. That's what the Washington Post tells us. They've already started. Ergo, they believe they cannot stop. It's disgusting. It's these people playing God with our weather and climate, and it has to stop, which is why there is a global march against chemtrails and geoengineering this Saturday, January 25th. You see here 98 coordinated actions all over the world. That's my action right here in Wyoming. Join me this Saturday. We're going to have a good time. Look at Europe. You think they're opposed to geoengineering? The people are standing up against it. The mainstream media is trying to get ahead of it. That's why they're putting Gore out there right now as a rejecter of the technology. That way Gore can be debating on the mainstream media as the dissenting voice, but they're going to push it through anyway. It's already taking place, but they're trying to figure out how they're going to roll out a public disclosure. Okay, here's where it's coming. Parched by drought, California turns to science pilots to create much needed rainfall. Okay, they're talking about weather modification. Let's see, the current drought has driven scientists, I don't know why it keeps reloading, sorry about that, has driven scientists to attempt to make their own much needed rain fall from the sky. Weather modification incorporated using a new technology. Okay, they're calling weather modification, they're calling cloud seeding a new technology. Everybody who's studied the history of weather modification knows that silver iodide cloud seeding was developed in 1946 in a process known as quote-unquote seeding. Okay, they're putting seeding in quotes like their average reader has never heard of cloud seeding. We all know that cloud seeding has been in existence and used commercially for the better part of a century. We also know that cloud seeding was used as a weapon during Operation Popeye in the Vietnam War. So they're trying to market cloud seeding as a solution, and I'm pretty sure they're trying to convince people that these geoengineering trails that we see, stuff like this, these high wispy cirrus clouds, look, that's today, San Francisco. That's Yosemite today. Those are some old ones. Right now over Lake County, Napa County. So that's the geoengineering. That's what's causing the drought. And the mainstream media overlooks geoengineering but says they're going to use cloud seeding with little rinky-dink planes like that. In reality, they're using massive airliners and cargo planes to spray these artificial cirrus clouds at 30 to 40,000 feet. Okay, interestingly, the fake environmentalist, Oil Change International, is a classic controlled opposition environmentalist group. This Oil Change International, you can see, we'll go to their page. You know, they're opposed to fracking. I'm opposed to fracking. They are opposed to pollution. I'm opposed to pollution. But they don't address geoengineering. They don't address suppressed energy technologies. And they're on the ropes. You know, they're continually trying to fight against something versus trying to evolve and render something obsolete. If we had these suppressed energy technologies unleashed, we would no longer need oil. We would no longer need fossil fuels. Instead, it's all about, with guys like this, the guys like Greenpeace, Protect Our Winters, it's all about stopping somebody versus starting something that actually changes things for the better. And this image here, notice in this article from Oil Change, we got this image. We got this image here on their Facebook. Here's a close-up on this image. Now notice here's this month, January 13, 2014, shows it dry. Notice a relatively cloudless sky. I was actually out in California over that time, and it was interesting they were not geoengineering for several days. Now compare it with January 13, 2013. You see a really obvious geoengineered skyscape here. Okay, we see all this. Now why did they choose this image? This image is all over the internet. Okay, it's everywhere. Free Thought Forum, Reddit, Google+, Greenpeace, Die Press, Newsreader, NBC Bay Area, Reuters, Reddit, MTV Finland. Okay, it's all over the internet. And what's interesting about it is that it shows a heavily geoengineered day here over the mountains. You know, this is snow. There's snow in there as well, but all this cirrus formation is obviously geoengineered. And I can show you that original image. Let's go look, January 13th, 2013. That's that image. We can zoom in, and it's just blatantly obvious. Like, look at that! Look at that trail and the shadow from it. You know, this is actually the image they pulled it from. And I'm just savvy enough to get in there and look at it. So that's January 13th, 2013. Now I think they're trying to imply with the clueless wannabe environmentalists that somehow this cloud layer, this cirrus layer, this artificial layer, was somehow helping. Okay, so they're trying to portray this geoengineering crap, this wide-scale weather modification, this climate modification. These cirrus clouds, like we see here, are proven to cause drought, proven to decrease evaporation, increase surface temperatures, increase the amount of moisture the air can hold, and therefore decrease precipitation. We're seeing that almost every day now. A great example, December 2013, the 17th, was a really bad day. Okay, so there we see, you know, in the midst of this horrible drought, the entire state of California obscured by these artificially induced cirrus layers. So it's interesting how the fake environmentalists, well, they're not fake, but they're not totally clued in to what's really going on with suppressed energy technologies and with the geoengineering programs. These guys like Oil Change are putting out images like this, and I'm under the impression that they're attempting to skew the public's perceptions into thinking that these cirrus clouds are in fact a good thing. But no, science tells us that they do in fact cause drought. Again, the mainstream media trying to get ahead of us on this because we got this big protest coming this weekend, and geoengineering is in trouble. We activists, we true activists, have got it in the crosshairs. So show your support. Keep up the good fight. We got this. Check out this site. This is actually pretty cool. Earth Data, NASA, Worldview. It's a pretty cool site for looking at the historical imagery and studying geoengineering. You want real news? Check out my new blog, The Sheep Eater, tukadika.com. Y'all take care. Thanks for listening. One love. Peace.